I want to welcome everyone. We got a special guest in the house tonight. Um, I connected with this brother a couple years ago, actually through Twitter, and we definitely been staying connected. He's doing a lot of big things. He has a big relationship tour that we're going to be talking about later. He's doing some big things on social media. He has a lot of speaking engagements, and he is known as the relationship expert. I want to welcome to the Inspirational Breakfast Table, Stephan speaks. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. So let me ask you this, man. I've been, me and you've been following each other for a while, and like I said, I'm always paying attention to your page, your Instagram. I see you got books all over the place. You got coaching. I see a lot of people speaking about different things from finances to business. I mean, what brought on the relationships? I mean, what got you into speaking about relationships?
I think due to number one, just me getting close to the God, that's the direction He pointed me in. So that's first and foremost. But I think just in life, people were always letting me inside of their business, letting me know what's going on, letting me see deeper into their lives than the average person will see. And what I realized is people have relationship struggles, and relationships are at the core of society. So whether it's business relationships, family relationships, romantic relationships, it's everywhere, and we're dealing with it on a daily basis. However, a lot of people don't know how to effectively deal with it, how to effectively cultivate and nurture great relationships in their life, and therefore it's causing a big problem, and it's causing a lot of struggles, and that's why I felt the focus needed to be placed there.
So, so let me ask you though. You got your calling, and I know a lot of times, just from experience, it takes a while for us to sometimes get started in our purpose and our calling. How long did it take you when you received this calling, and tell us about the process.
Well, the process of what, accepting it?
The process, anytime you start something, speaking, writing books, is always some kind of a challenge. It's always some kind of a process, to kind of get your feet wet a little bit.
Well, for me, the process was simply doing what I felt God was telling me to do, and trying to navigate through all the distractions, all the people telling you should go get a regular job, or you should be doing X, Y, Z instead. I mean, just trying to deal with all the pushback, all the resistance, and just staying faithful to knowing what God told me to do and putting into play. So just walking through that process, and then and actually getting things done. It was just a matter of researching, learning different things. So when it came to a book, I would try to look up, okay, how to write a book, how to promote a book. Things like that. When it came to being a speaker, okay, how to get more speaking engagements, tips on being an effective speaker. Research, research, research. I would just read everything I could, everything about email lists. I mean, a lot of my knowledge that I've gained has simply been from scouring all over Google and the internet, and watching webinars and reading books, and just anything I can get my hands on to help me improve in certain areas. So the process is just about always learning and always being faithful and just putting things into action. At some point, you just got to do it. You can talk about it, you can dream about it, you could want it real bad, but if you just don't go out there and do it, nothing's going to happen.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. Everyone out there has a story.
Mm-hmm.
I have a story. That's what got me into motivational speaking. What is your story? What are some challenges that you faced along the way?
Like I mentioned just now, having to be told by people, forget what people were telling me. Having to walk through this and be broke and be struggling, and my boys are going out taking trips, and I'm at home. I can't go. I don't have any money for that, and on top of that, I need to work. I need to focus on what I'm doing. So a lot of my story just included a lot of struggle, and not just struggle from being broken, what I couldn't do, but even struggle from embracing the fact that when you're in front of a large audience, you're going to deal with a lot of negativity. You're going to deal with a lot of pushback, people who won't like you just because, and it's not even about you half the time. They're just bitter because of the issues they're dealing with. and you may say something that triggers them. So learning how to navigate through that, I mean, there's so much, but I think, back to the question of what was my story, again, it was just me. It was just a lot of praying, a lot of talking to God. I was from Miami, felt God was telling me to move to Georgia, was surrounded by nothing but married people who were asking me for advice or having me coach them basically. And that spurred my first book. And then from there, I did the research, learned how to promote a book. Then that's how my blog got started. Then from there, I'm pushing the blog. I'm learning social media, learning Twitter. And then just kept growing and growing. And it just kept adding from there, just kept snowballing. And every step of the way, I was just trying to learn, build relationships within the business, connect with people, and just keep improving my craft. Because at the end of the day, the goal was help people. People needed to hear this stuff, and I need to figure out the most effective way to get it to them, and to speak to them in a way that they can receive it.
So, I've been watching your video. Tell us a little bit about this singles tour you have going on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's the Professional and Single Tour, kicking off next week, matter of fact, in Chicago on the 23rd, and then DC on the 26th. And then we got Phoenix, Houston in October, as well as Atlanta. And then November is going to be, at the moment, it should be New York, LA, and Miami. But yeah, I did the tour because it was time to do it myself. Time to go out there and take a risk and, put together my own event. Putting my own money behind it. I don't have any sponsors right now. I just had to trust God. Again, God blessed me with the success with my previous books, and it was time to take things to a new level. Because I think I love speaking, and I love being able to be in front of people and connect with them personally rather than just on the internet. And with the Professional Single Tour, one of my motivations was I meet so many professionals who are struggling with dating and struggling with relationships. And I feel like this is a demographic that deserves to have more success, should have more success. They have a great foundation in their life of business success, but on the personal side, things are lagging. And I feel like not enough is being given to them or told to them to help them see better in their life when it comes to relationships. So that's why I've named it a Professional Single Tour, but it's really open to everybody, because whether you're a professional, whether you're in college, whatever, you'll be able to learn from this and create greater success in your business and in relationships.
I was looking at one of your books lately. I was on your website, and I believe one of the books was called was it your Boaz? It was talking about Boaz.
God, where's my Boaz? What were you saying?
I was saying I was on your website, and I noticed one of your books, and I believe it was talking about I believe it had the title Boaz.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that book?
Yeah, so God, Where Is My Boaz? I released it in 2013. Oh, was it 2013? Yeah, August of 2013. And it's funny because I had no intentions of writing that book. It actually came from a meltdown. I had a breakdown in May of 2013, and I was ready to quit. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I was stressed out. Some things went wrong. But I said, before I walk off the ledge, let me pray. Let me ask God what I need to do. And in that prayer, that's where that book came from. And I wasn't even thinking it would be anything big. I just figured, okay, God told me to do it. Let me just do it. If I could just make a little bit of money from it, maybe that'll help me, because at the time I was struggling big time. But once I got started, I really started to see why it was important to write that book, why it was needed, where God was taking it. But I still did not understand or grasp how big it could be. So ever since then, it's been a huge success. It's done extremely well. Sold a lot of copies, and it's opened more doors. But more importantly, it's helped a lot of people. It's given women some strength that they need in their journey to receiving the relationship they're looking for. It's giving them some clarity and the insight that is going to help them make changes and help them embrace the process that God has them in. So it's been very fulfilling from the fact of how many people has been able to help and all the emails I get from it. So I'm happy I wrote it, and it just taught me, you know what, I just got to write what God wants me to write. I can't get into what I think is going to work because I don't know better than he does. So I just go back to praying and asking God and taking his direction.
So let me ask you though, besides your tour that you have going on, you have any more projects, any more books coming out, any more, I mean, anything else you got going, I mean, for 2016?
Yeah, I got a few things, but right now it's kind of still in the baby stages. I'm working on a new book. The title has kind of changed like 3, 4 times, so I'm not even gonna say the title because it'll probably change another 2 times. But it is a book that's gonna be speaking to women. You know, funny enough, people would assume I have more books for women, but I actually have more books for men at the moment. I got 2 books for men, 1 for women. So now my next one's gonna be talking to women again and kind of helping them navigate through dating and some of the issues that they face but don't have the answers for. So that's what I'm working on as far as the book is concerned. You know, just getting ready to drop more videos on the YouTube channel, just try to broaden the audience and still doing more tour. You know, the tour with the professional single tour, we're doing some of the big cities here in the States, but early next year we're gonna hit some international cities, and then we're gonna do another round of cities out here in the States. So the tour is gonna be going on for a while, and even looking into doing a singles retreat. So there's a lot of different things on the horizon, just trying to work it all out at the moment. The audio went out. I'm not even hearing you. I'm seeing your mouth move, but I'm not hearing nothing. I still don't hear anything. I still don't hear anything. I don't know what's going on. I didn't touch anything on my side, so make sure you're not on mute. Still can't hear you. Still nothing coming through. Nope. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. So for anyone, I mean, struggling with their purpose and making things happen, you just have to make a choice. You got to make a choice to take that leap of faith. You got to move forward. You got to put things into play. You got to understand that also it's not about getting it right or getting it perfect. It's just about doing it. You know, like even with writing a book, listen, I don't even like writing, to be honest with you, but when God told me to write that book, I said, okay, I just got to get it done. Just putting it on paper was the first step, and from there you can fix it up. You can do what you need to do, but ultimately you have to take that step. You have to put things into action. You just have to go out there and take that leap, you know, and look at all the people around you who are successful and understand they didn't get there by being afraid. They got there by taking chances, but they were afraid. Don't get it wrong. We're all a little scared. We're all a little hesitant, but you have to fight through that fear and just make a choice to do something. Do what you are called to do and what you feel that burning passion within you to make happen, and just put it out there and trust everything's going to fall into place. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. All right.